What's up, everyone? We're here for another episode of the Tom Hayden Show. I am so excited for this one. We got one of the OGs on. He's been playing for a while, and every time I talk to him, I learn something new about Pokemon. And I hope everyone listening learns a lot about Pokemon today talking to him. We got Ashby on. So, Ashby, take it away. Introduce yourself, and can you tell everyone how you got into Pokemon and when your first live event was? I know that's three questions technically. That's gonna have you filibust for a while. But I love to hear you talk. I love to hear you talk. So please take it away.
Absolutely. So I'm Ashby. I've been playing since 2012 was my first live event.
That's awesome.
Honestly, though, I got into Pokemon when I was 10 years old and it first came out. I remember my first birthday, we went to Blockbuster and rented these new Pokemon VHSs. And ever since then, man, I had the bug. I got it the card game, played on the Game Boy. Our first game was Red. I played in first pick was Charizard. So I've been playing forever. But I took a long break from it. I got into Magic the Gathering. Once I was in Magic, I played that for years. And
I have
then,
so many Magic friends.
so the way I got into VGC, I guess, is that I got a new job. I was working at Sears, and I was not able to get Friday nights off for Friday Night Magic, and I needed to find a new hobby.
No, wait, you're kidding.
In my city, and I'm like, oh, there's a Pokemon regional championship in my city. I should go to it. I used to play Pokemon. I'm sure I could figure it out. And that was when Black and White was out. So my first experience was Black and White for competitive, and I had to learn everything from Gen 2 to Gen 5 to catch up. And so, like, I watched videos, I watched people, and this is 2012, early on, like probably the holidays, and it wasn't until spring of regional. So I myself got online and found Smogon, and then found Nugget Bridge, which is an old resource that used to exist, which is basically kind of what VGC or the main VGC results pages are, was kind of what they've morphed into. But you see a message board, and I got to know the Pokemon community. I got involved. I got to play and meet everybody way back in the day against, Aaron Zhang, his brother, Wolf, Aaron Trailer. I've known these guys forever. So, but yeah, we used to play on this platform called Pokemon Online, which is basically the alpha version of Showdown. And we had a terrible chat, and we would just go online and just play and learn. And I had to learn doubles because I'd never done Pokemon competitively, and so, but I had been through like the Magic circuit. I've done PTQs. I've top 8 at a PTQ. I made day 2 at GP Vegas with Scape Shift. Like I've done other competitive games. So I was just like, well, let's try Pokemon. And so I got involved with Bavarius or Zach Camp. He's a great guy.
Okay. Shout out.
And he had this team, and he lent it to me, and I took it to the Carl Springs Regional, which was like 7 rounds, best of 1. I go X and 1. I get 5th place. I learned all about wide guard, fake outs, encores. There's all kinds of shenanigans. The team was Zapdos, Hitmontop, Mamoswine, Tyranitar, Amoonguss, level 49 Amoonguss, mind you, and Volcarona. And it was like Top Moth. And so this team, it went to 4 different regionals. It won 2 of them, and it top cut 2 others the same weekend. And the Mamoswine that we all took had 0 EVs. We had forgotten to EV it when it was given to us. It was just like, here's the team. We didn't even check. I even had a correct EV Mamoswine in my box, and I didn't bring it because I just used the one I was given. And it had no EVs. And it won a lot of regionals. So yeah, that was back in 2012. will say I'm a little bitter about what happened there. They did not do top. They did Swiss. I went 7-1, got fifth place. They decided not to play out top eight because the TO just didn't want to, and so he just did it off of standings. I missed a invite to nationals that year on tiebreakers, and I knew I was going to take that whole tournament. I was going to win that whole thing. I was so confident. I was crushing everything. It was going to be great. So I bubbled there, and the next event I didn't get to go to was nationals of 2013.
How'd you do there?
I got ninth.
Ninth. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, yeah.
I took a team that was made by a German player, and it was Trick Room Sun with Ninetales, Power Swap, Overheat, Fire Gem, and I just walked seven. I lost my round one and then went 7-0 to make the top cut. And then I won my top 32 and I lost the top 16 to top 8 slot to Gavin Michaels, who won the whole thing. So can't feel too bad about that.
Yeah. If you lose to the guy that wins it all.
That was my first nationals.
Dude. Yeah, so you sent me 2 YouTube videos that I'm going to link in the description of this podcast too that I'm super excited to watch after. So wait, Tell me about this level 49 Amoongus. So it wasn't all set to levels?
No. So you could run under levels.
I didn't know that.
The whole thing was back then, Spore could affect other grass types, and there wasn't that whole safety goggles thing. It was just you go to sleep. we ran Chesto Rest Amoongus because we could take the Spore and Spore them first, but because we were always level 49 and everyone was level 50, we were always slower. So in Trick Room, our Spore would always get their Amoongus, so that way that was always solved.
Holy shit. And then what was the switch like from best of 1 to best of 3? That must have been an interesting time in VGC. And if you could talk a little bit about that, like the best of 1 experience versus the recent best of 3 experience, which is all I know.
Okay, so which one was that? That was 2015? 2014?
That's crazy to me. That's a huge change.
I mean, what it did is it made tighter play better. When you think about it, there were games in best of 1 that I probably should have lost, but I won because I got a lucky crit, and that was it. So I think the best of 3 kind of helps balance out that RNG a little bit, because in best of 1, man, those crits are more impactful than they are in a best of 3 situation.
That's true. That. Okay.
So I actually came being the competitive Magic player that I came from best of 3s, so it actually made more sense to me to do it. And I feel like best of 3 for me was beneficial.
Okay.
Just because it's just easier to kind of compensate for what you think your opponent has and making sure that you can still execute your plan, which is probably the most important thing in Pokemon. You need to make sure that you do what you're trying to do to win, because if you don't, then you lose.
Yeah. And dude, you have an interesting backstory getting into it because the Magic Friday nights were busy, and it's just like that. Are you kidding? That's really.
So I had to find something else to do. So I found Pokemon.
Oh my god, that's insane to me. That if you got Friday nights off, we might never be talking.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Holy shit, dude! I actually have a lot of friends that came from Magic to VGC that I've met in the VGC world who all say, "Oh yeah, I used to play Magic." So it's interesting that there's that bridge that I feel like is a very crossed path.
Yeah, because you figure that, being a card player, you would go from a one card game to another, but I feel just like VGC is the superior chess. That way I'm starting with all the cards in my hand. I can go, whether I win or lose is based off of my decisions more so than RNG of drawing the right cards. So I think for me, I liked the aspect that I had more control over the outcome of the game of Pokemon than I did of Magic the Gathering.
Okay. That's really cool to hear, though, because, I never came from a video game background, or a trading card game background. So it's all, this whole community has been so new, and it's been so cool to me. And that's part of the reason, the first time I heard your name, I've told you this, 3 times in the conversation before.
got me some applesauce. I'm so old.
Oh, you're cold?
No, I'm old.
Old. Dude, you've been playing for a while, man. I wish I got into it back then, to be honest. Like, it's so cool now, like, seeing how this community is now. I can't imagine what it was back then, too. As such a smaller group, probably.
Yeah, I mean, we got to know the players very, really well. Like Caleb Ryer, I got to know really well. I always like to see him at events. Um, I still try to talk to uh, Grayson Guerin, and like he's a good friend. And there's a lot, but it's fun because there's not a lot of people that just don't play anymore, or they just don't go to events. And it's really interesting to see like this whole new generation of players, especially I would say January 2020 is when I would say recognize it the most. It was the first regional for Sword and Shield,
Okay. I wasn't
and so I
playing
took
then.
my sons, and oh man, I didn't. You hear about a great failure of mine. I did not pre-register for that event because I had never had to pre-register for any event for any Pokemon event that I had gone to in like the last 6 years.
Oh, no.
And they're like, hey, it's capped. I'm like, what do you mean it's capped? Like, you're joking. No, it's capped. We were not able to attend. We did do like the midseason showdown afterwards, but we were not able to actually compete in the regional, which was a huge bust.
Yeah.
But then COVID happened, like that, like the next month. So
March.
it was
Yeah.
really, COVID really changed the landscape of Pokemon and it really skewed a lot of things. So I'm really excited to see how this regional season goes.
That's
And
so cool to hear. I'm one of the COVID players. Like, I'm a player that was able to get time to learn because of COVID. It's just like I started playing like Series 4 or 5 of Sword and Shield. So it's like there's so many people like me who just got into it or are so new to it. And I love hearing the history. There's probably, again, so many of us that love hearing the history. So hearing about the level 49 Amoonguses, that you could spore grass types, hearing about the best of one Swiss, like hearing about all this history is awesome. Like, oh, God. And,
you want to hear an NSFW like huge drama story that happened at the EUIC
absolutely.
many years ago? Have you heard about this?
Probably not.
All right. So it is the person who won beat the Gary cosplayer who was Ben Karaoke there.
Okay.
I believe that he even still is like a caster, but he got second place, and then that night, the person who won, they were involved in an incident involving human fecal matter being thrown around in a hallway. They had then had their national championship title stripped from them and given to the runner up.
For throwing shit?
Yeah, for throwing shit.
What an ass. Oh my God.
Yep, it cost him the title, everything. He was banned for a little while. Like probably never played again is my guess. I won't go into names. I don't
Yeah,
remember
no, I
them.
don't want to know the name. If anyone wants
I
to know the
remember
name,
like
you could probably
the
look it up
story.
and find it out.
Yeah, if you want to dig, that's your own business. But it
Exactly.
happened. It's true.
Oh my God.
So that's how Gary Oak won the EUIC at the time.
Holy fuck. Is it so now I want to take a little left turn that I didn't tell you about pre-show. Um there's a couple of battles that I was told, like, so one of my old roommates in California, the dude that taught me EVs and IVs and like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and then I like just played a little casually. Like, I never played competitively again until COVID, like I just played
Yeah.
very casually. He taught me what EVs are, he taught me what IVs were. I was like, oh, this is cool. Didn't know this existed. But then next thing you know, he turned on the Sejun Park Judy Azumarill match, and he would turn on like the big Cybertron and Wolf Championship matches, like the Will-O-Wisp Misses one, and like the Wolf Championship one. I forget like which year that was off the top of my head. And he liked watching like the big battles. Um,
Yeah.
I was told there's a seniors match from like the Sejun Park Judy year that was really good to watch too. Are there any battles that stick out that you, as like someone, would tell newer players to watch to learn their history? Or am I putting you on the spot too much?
Battles from back in the day. I think Enosh Chichar's win, his Nationals win in 2013 was really, really cool. Taking Abomasnow, Misdrevious all the way to the national title. That was really sick.
2013 Nationals. I'm going to put these in the description, too.
And man, some of these are probably going to be lost to time. Like,
I'll try.
I wish I could show you a battle. It was a top 16 match at St. Louis 2015.
Oh, that's definitely lost to time.
Yeah, it's totally gone. But it was my buddy Michael Flatung, his name Primitive BGC, and he was going to be paired up against Trick Room. So we all put our heads together, and he's like, "How do I beat Trick Room? I have no way to reverse it. I have no way to stop it from going up." He's like, "The best I can do is like attack it." And I was like, "Well, what if you sucker punch your own Aegislash with your Mega Kangaskhan? Don't Mega, so you only get hit once, but you trigger your weakness policy, and then you can just Shadow Ball one-shot it." And that's how he ended up winning the top 16 match. His top 8 match, he lost to Zach Drokamp or Bavarius, and it's because he got paralyzed. But he was going also for the justified sucker punch Mega Kangaskhan onto your own Terrakion rock slide. He actually ended up getting paralyzed, so he did not get to do the really cool justified sucker punch move that we had talked about too. But those were really good matches that I wish we could go back and see, that are just probably again lost to time.
Damn. But that's like something that like you guys know. You guys have been around for a while, know the history and stuff like that's. I definitely want to learn that. And again, I'm going to link 2 battles from 2012 in the description. I'm going to try to find that 2013 Nationals match if I can. And then the top 16 St. Louis, it's probably going to be very hard to find that one, but I'm going to dig. It's gone.
They were never recorded, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's what we need, though. You know, it is really sad that we don't have a VS recorder like we had in Black and White, where we could actually record our videos and share them, and like those battles, and take a look at them and see everything. But
for real?
Yeah, we used to have, it was called the VS recorder, and it would record your battles, and you could record all of your old information and like games that you played, and you could play them back turn by turn. And man, it's
and we can't do that on the Switch.
Nope, can't do it on the Switch. You could do it on the DS. Not even the DS. It was the DS.
Not the 3DS.
Not the 3DS, just the DS. But you can't do it on the Switch. Rest in peace.
God damn. That's kind of crazy, man. Are there any other crazy changes that like new players probably just don't even know about?
Oh man, the chances and the percentages of RNG has all changed.
Really?
I remember paralysis was much worse than it is now. Confusion was much worse.
Wow.
The powder moves, like all of that, like the whole move type, I think has been a really cool evolution from like Heat Wave and like Tailwind charging, and like that whole wind aspect and the cutting aspect of sharpness.
Yes.
Can't wait to play with Cleavor. He's going to be a monster.
You think so?
But yeah, no, I think that it's really cool to see like all the new abilities. Things have changed. Rest in peace, Gengar Levitate. That was the best. It was when it was really, really good. They took it away from him. Now he has Cursed Body. We're so sad.
Yeah, shout out Gengar.
Yeah, I know, and I've seen a lot of different metas, where we have the double restricted. I've seen metas with bad Pokemon, Megas. I top 8'd a mid-season showdown with Mega Abomasnow on Arcanine. Like, that was, Finn and Jake was the team. I called it Adventure Time. Because I had shiny Abomasnow and it was blue, and then I had the dog, so it was Finn and Jake.
I love it.
Yeah, it was great. But no, then it's been really cool too, because not only have I gotten to kind of experience all of the like the community and everything first, it's the fact that like now I can, my family's along with me, my kids are playing. And they're absolutely dominating it. This is all them.
I wanted to bring that up. So when did you realize your sons were kick-ass battlers and like could beat everyone their age?
Well, because I've been doing it for a while. Once Mason was really old enough to like read and do it himself. I brought him to local events with me and entered him, and he just crushed it because we talked about it. We covered how to battle, different strategies, what you could expect, and then he got onto Showdown 2 and was like trying to figure it out. And he put in a lot of work to get good at the game, and he is absolutely a monster.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Well, and then because the events that he would go to, there wouldn't be any other juniors to play, so he would just play the other masters, and he would be crushing them.
That's even funnier then. Like, he's just crushing the master ranked.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a little kid, and I know what you're going to do, and I'm just going to outthink you and destroy you. And it's so funny to watch Mason pick the players apart. It's so great. It feels bad to have it done to you, believe me. He's beaten me a good number of times.
I'm dead.
But he was always interested in it. He liked the competitive aspect, and he got 10th place at the 2016 Nationals.
Wow.
And he was playing role play Thunderous with Kyogre.
What does role play do?
Matches, he role played his own Kyogre because they brought in their Groudon, set up Sun, so he was able to role play, copy the Primal Sea. Rain came back up, and the Groudon had nothing to hit his Thunderous with at all. So he Hidden Power iced it all the way down to death because he couldn't use any fire moves, and he didn't have all he had was ground moves, which didn't hit Thunderous, so he just died.
Oh my god. Hidden Power is like Terra, right? Or what was the Hidden Power era like?
Oh man, okay, so yeah, Hidden Power. Trying to find the right Hidden Power and breeding for that was terrible. So Hidden Power was something that was a move based, it was a 70 power base move, and the type would change on your IVs. So depending on what type of IV spread you had, you would get a specific Hidden Power type. And it was basically like Terra. You would have to get those IVs, and then you get the that specific type, which was basically always ice, fire, or like ground rarely, but it was good against Heatran. That 4 times damage is really strong.
Yeah. Oh wow. So sorry to interject on that, but yeah, no, your son's success is so impressive to me, because again, someone named Ashby returned a water bottle of mine at an event, and I'm like, that's the first time I heard your name. Then I look up at the screen at AIC to watch the battles, and I see your son up there battling. I was like, wait, what? And then I met you in London. I had the pleasure of talking to you there too, but it was just like,
yeah,
I was like, this is so cool that this whole family's like a kick-ass Pokemon battling family.
It's been really fun to watch my kids grow up with it, and see their success, teach them, how to kind of outthink and what your strategies are. And it's been really awesome to, watch them grow through it and have them enjoy the experience with me. And it's been a really good bonding thing. Yeah. So why don't we bring on Mason now? He's here too.
Oh, what's up, Mason? I'm Tom.
Hello.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Tom.
I'm sorry you can't see me the way it's set up. I'll send you guys a YouTube video when it comes out. January 16th is when I got you guys dated for. But it's a pleasure to talk to you. Yeah, I want to hear about how you got into this, because it's so cool to me as a new COVID player. That's when I got into it during COVID. And to see all those ribbons behind and to hear your dad's story, I love it.
Yeah, so I started playing VGC back in, 2014, roughly. Before that, I had gotten my first copy of Pokemon, which is X, on Christmas, because my dad had gotten his 3DS on Christmas Eve the day before. And X and Y was my first introduction to VGC. I never really did much with X and Y, but once I got into Oris, that's when I started playing, in actual tournaments, not just locals. I went to NAIC back in 2016 for my juniors run, and I got 10th for my first tournament, which wasn't bad.
That's great. First tournament?
Yeah. And then after that, we kind of played some small tournaments for Sun and Moon, but we went to some regionals, but we didn't do all too great, and we kind of stopped playing after that.
Okay.
But actually, during one of our runs in 2020 at the first regional, what was it? Dallas. We weren't able to join the tournament, but we did do the mid-season, and we had a good run there.
Okay.
unfortunately, after that COVID hit and, tournaments weren't being ran. But once we came back for 2022 in SLC, we had a really good run, me and my brother. We both won our SLC and Milwaukee regionals with our medals.
Oh my god.
And then straight from Milwaukee, we went to, what was it?
Nationals.
Yeah, Nationals for
Yep.
2022 at the NAIC. And my younger brother actually ended up winning, and I got top 4 in my division.
Dude, that is so cool. That is so freaking cool. Like, that much success in battling, like, coming out of COVID, you guys were ready to go to the live events. You were like a Beyblade just getting ripped right off the thing, just, oh my god. And yeah, the medals are so cool. The trophies are even cooler. And, like, what was it like winning your first tournament?
It was interesting. So usually you have to, you kind of have to like turn off sort of all your emotions when you're playing at a tournament because you don't want to like, if anything bad happens, you don't want to get in your own head about it.
Okay.
So I'm in my finals match, and I'm surprised that one of the sets, he's running Assault Vest Mammoth Swine. I hit him with a weakness policy Yveltal with Max Darkness, and it does about 60%. I thought it was going to one-shot, but it lives, and it threw me off completely, and it cost me the whole match. So I played it, but because I had kind of turned off, thinking and just, consistent Pokemon, it allowed me to play through all my matches. But by the time I had won, it's like it didn't even happen. It was kind of like I'm just waiting for my next match. So I was sitting there with the medal. I was waiting for him to finish his match, actually. And then it was a huge relief, like realizing that I had won. And it was a big step for me because it showed how far I've come as a VGC player, and just how much like time has passed just as playing the game.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm going to try to find all these matches that you guys have played in on stream and link them, in the description of this YouTube too, because it's like, you guys got a cool history, man. I keep saying the word cool, but I'm like flabbergasted, like, I want to get there. I want, that's what the goal for everyone competing. There's 620 people registered for San Diego and VGC. All of them want to win. All of them want to climb the mountain that you've climbed, and it's so cool to see that, like, I love talking to people who've won that, and like, your dad is a homie. Your dad is so cool. So like, I love hearing this perspective, man. It's like really cool to see this, how Pokemon came together, brought you guys together, and you were able to climb that mountain, man. It's like, congratulations. I can't say that enough.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I love it. Do you got big plans for San Diego?
Not quite. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to play, but the OCIC is what we should be getting ready for.
Oh, Australia.
Yeah, we got 10,000. Me and my brother both got travel award. We both got $5,000 to go to Australia.
So, can you explain to a novice how travel awards work, guys? I'm sorry if this is a broad question.
Wait, money? What?
So, if you do well enough throughout the year, me and my brother both managed to get above 500
CP
championship points. Yeah. So, what they do is they kind of base off of how well you did throughout the year. So since me and my brother had won 2 regionals and both had top cut NAIC and he actually won, it put us at the highest rank in our respective divisions of seniors and juniors.
So cool.
And that's how they decide how travel award will be
allocated
sent for the OCIC.
Oh wow!
So since we both did really good, we both got the highest travel award.
And when
it's top 4 get top 4 CP earners in each division get paid to go. They get a travel stipend given to them to go to these events.
That's so cool. That is so cool. And wait, when is OCIC?
It's February, the weekend of
the third weekend. Day. Yeah, third weekend of February.
Oh, that's my birthday weekend. No, my birthday weekend's a weekend after. My birthday weekend's Knoxville.
Knoxville.
Yeah, Knoxville regional. So it's the week before Knoxville, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see you guys on stream and then take that team to Knoxville. No.
Maybe we'll see that. Who knows? Well, we're trying to definitely qualify. Tokyo is the end goal. We were able to get to Yokohama, which is 60
yeah,
super close.
Very small.
It's a bullet train
yeah,
away.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, again,
I really want to see you guys in Yokohama too. Like Japan is my goal as well. I feel like it's more realistic for you guys, but I hope to see you there as a spectator if I'm not competing. You know, and I'll be there rooting for you guys every step of the way because it's like, again, it's so cool to have climbed that mountain, to be doing so well at this like respective hobby, to be the top. You know, like the top dog. It's like, it again. Congrats, and your hard work is paying off. Whatever you're doing it right. You know, so like. It's cool to see that from a third-party perspective. I can't say that enough.
thank you for all your compliments and everything. I really appreciate it, and we hope to see you as well.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And I asked your dad this too. Are there any Pokemon matches that you would recommend new players to watch? Like, what are some of your favorite ones from like the old days for you?
I don't know. I wasn't really much of a spectator back
Okay.
then. It's kind of like watching sports. You know, I love sports, but I never watched them. I couldn't sit down and
Yeah,
sit through a match. But
That's a great way to put it.
looking back, maybe 2016, it's really consistent. You have your meta form. Ian, what was it? The team? What was the best team? What was it? 2014, where it was like Heatran, Kangaskhan,
Chalk.
Chalk. Yeah, when was that?
What is that?
2016?
Yeah,
I've heard that.
2016.
I've heard of that before.
Pretty much just like
Oh, what is chalk?
Yeah, I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is.
So it's an anagram for the team that was just like kind of what we would consider the big six back in the day, and it was just called Chalk, and so that was your basic team that was just like the best
the best team.
The best team.
It was the most consistent at which Pokemon has ever been. Whoever played better was just the better player.
It was that standard that like so many people were using it.
Yeah, and there were, I mean, obviously you had your variations, and people did their own little text to try and beat the mirror, but yeah, it was Chalk.
It was consistent. Yep.
So we also have
Yeah.
my third child. Yes, I'm a dad of 4, who is the national champion.
Dude, congrats. I know you can't see me, but like I was waving and then I realized you couldn't see me. But like congratulations so much on like your winning and everything. Like so cool. Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. It was great. It's good to meet you. So,
Yeah, like
It's okay.
dude.
Tom, just chill. Talk.
Yeah, no, I'm what's it called? I'm just a random dude that met your dad at London and became friends. So that's how this internet Pokemon community works. But I actually distinctly remember watching you at NAIC because someone at NAIC returned my water bottle that I lost. And they were like, "Oh yeah, someone named Ashby returned a water bottle." And then I'm like, "Oh, Ashby." And then I go and look on the screen and you're playing on the NAIC screen. And I was like, "Oh, that's an Ashby. Oh my god." And that was like a really funny connection, you know, that I was like, "Oh my, you guys are so kind." And the fact that you're doing so well is so cool to me, you know, to see from a third party. And what's like your favorite Pokemon? And I'd love to hear about your favorite battle.
okay, well, my favorite Pokemon is Bulbasaur.
Awesome.
Just love his design. His typing is awesome. And he turned into Venusaur, which was very competitively used in Gen 7.
Yeah.
No, Gen 8. There we go. That's the gem.
Dude, I'm using Lilligant and I've been calling it Venusaur Light because I've been missing sleep powders. And it's like
Yeah.
But yeah, is there any battles that you really love watching or like that you loved playing in that you would recommend people go watch? Cuz like you've been in some big battles.
Yes, obviously the NAIC one, that was probably my biggest battle that I played in.
Congrats.
Probably the biggest one was Worlds, although that was a little interesting. Just watching it on the big screen at Worlds, seeing all the moves. The seniors at Worlds was kind of lucky. It sucks.
Really?
Something like that. But those are some of my favorite matches at Worlds. They're really good plays. And just seeing all the Pokemon used.
Yeah. Didn't all the starters win or no, one of the Kanto starters won in the juniors and the seniors and then I think Charizard lost in the Masters, right? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, I think Eduardo missed, dropped the ball. No, did Charizard win Worlds? No. Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your favorite team to use, Abel? Was there any like teams like Chalk that you've used to great success?
Yeah, the Zacian team. That one was just,
Minimal.
yeah, it was the meta and it was really useful, powerful too. It was Zacian, Kyrex, Whimsicott. Zacian, Kyrex, Whimsicott, Rillaboom, Thundurus, Urshifu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very good team that we used.
Very similar to Edu, who won
Yeah.
Worlds. Very similar team.
And then Mason, I actually got the same question for you. Are there any teams that stick out to you that you really liked using, other than Chalk or the one we just named?
I did like this team that I created. It was Regieleki, Yveltal, Kyogre. That was pretty much just the core.
The core, yeah.
The reason why was because there's Persian on that team as well, Persian Alola. The reason why it was so good is because you had the fastest fake out in the game. It was pretty much a discount Incineroar, and it gave you max Airstream Icy Winds, which then put you faster than Zacian at any point in the game. It was really fun to use. I got to above top 500 on Cart Ladder and Showdown Ladder. And it was just it was a great time to use. I used it at Worlds with very little success, but I just loved using the team. It was a fun team.
And then, Ashby, Papa Ashby. Are there any teams that you like that stick out to you like that too? I asked both your sons. Now I want to hear if you got any like that.
Like I said, there was always Finn and Jake, but I think that team, the Zapdos one that we had talked about earlier, was just so consistent, and it was just always a team that I've remade in a few different metas to various success. But it's the core is strong. The core idea of the whole team is very strong.
Yeah, and this is so cool hearing about your guys' history in Pokemon, and I cannot wait to see how you guys do in upcoming tours too. OCIC they're not ready for you guys yet, man. I really hope I'm crossing my fingers.
Bring the American flag to Australia. Hopefully, takes home some W's.
What was your favorite place you guys traveled as a family for Pokemon?
Milwaukee was really nice.
Abel said that right away.
We did a whole trip actually. I mean, we went to the Milwaukee regional. The kids won. We spent the week in the Wisconsin Dells at Great Wolf Lodge and all the different water parks.
Oh, that's
and we
awesome.
just killed it. And then we drove to nationals in Columbus and they killed it there. So I mean, that was such an amazing trip. One that will always be remembered.
And the success and the Great Wolf Lodge combined probably made it. So you guys were relaxed going in.
Get better than that. I had earned Travel Award 2 to the NAIC, so they were able to go there, and it was rolling on the Pokemon gravy train.
Oh my god, that is so cool. And then meeting you guys in London. Was there anything that sticks out in London that you guys did that was fun other than Pokemon?
The hotel one.
The hotel breakfast was the best.
I love that.
Not gonna lie. Facts. That hotel breakfast was amazing.
So I'm in the hotel breakfast line, and the guy behind me is Sejun Park, and the guy behind him is Leonhardt. And I just started fanboying out. I was like, I'm a big fan of both of you guys, while I'm scooping eggs onto my plate with beans.
Yeah, because they're right there. It was so funny. Everyone that plays just yep, here we are. We're all at the same spot playing Worlds. But I got to see the Korean national team there, and everybody was just hanging out. It was so funny.
Yeah, I got blessed. Sohaib gave me the spectator pass, and then Beanie had extra room in the hotel, so I was like, all right, I'm in. You guys, I'm in. And I went as a spectator to my first ever Worlds, and it's so cool.
A spectacle.
You
would never expect it to be as huge of a production as it is.
That was crazy.
Wait, so how many Worlds have you guys been to?
That was our first Worlds.
That was the first Worlds. Okay. And
we've been to nationals a couple times. We weren't able to really consistently go for a number of years, and then this past year, because they were doing so well, we're just let's just keep crushing it, and they did. And you know, it's just kind of snowballed into this thing that we're trying to keep it going.
It makes it more realistic when you keep winning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes it a lot easier when they're like, "Hey, you want to go to OCIC?" Like, well, okay.
Don't twist my arm.
Yeah. I've done more international travel from Pokemon like in my entire life in the last year than I've done ever. So it's pretty funny that it,
Blessed.
you know, the kid in me, the 10-year-old that in me that loved the first Pokemon that came out, you know, Arcanine being like my favorite Pokemon. You know, it's you know, I get to geek out over the fact that we're going to all these crazy places and we're getting to do this great thing together. It's such a great community too. Everyone I've met is
So
super
cool.
nice, and it's, you know, it's just it's so friendly. Everyone's so friendly, and that's just the best way to go about it.
I can't say enough good words about this community. I feel like everyone's welcomed me with open arms too, which is cool to see. And it's like a new person in the community that's trying to learn. Like that's such a cool feeling, you know. So yeah, I can't say enough good words. Absolutely
It's
can't.
very welcoming, and it's been a really good environment to bring my kids into, where they, you know, are around a bunch of people who enjoy the same things that they do, so they don't feel like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
And they can see how big of a thing it is. It's just really enjoyable to experience it with the family now.
And I got another question that just popped into my mind. Do you guys play in any of the VGC draft leagues, like the ones where you draft 11 Pokemon and try to build against the opponent's 11
Well,
Pokemon?
I have participated in one of those, although it didn't last long.
You got so like that's how I got into this world, and like that's been one of my favorite parts. But I've noticed a lot of the guys that do well in VGC don't spend a lot of time on draft leagues, or only do like one or two of them. You know, actually, I'm lying. Pengy does every one he can do, and he won
Yeah,
Indy.
all the time.
He's a Pokemon junkie, yeah. But like,
Yeah,
I see,
gotta play more.
yeah.
I mean, I was involved in MPA for a couple seasons.
Okay.
We one year we won. It was the oh goodness, we were the Monarchs.
And that's a team league, though, not where you draft 11
Yeah.
Pokemon, right?
No, that one's where you draft people.
Yes, exactly.
Actual players.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've done that one a couple times, but yeah, I haven't done any online stuff. I don't have a huge online presence with my play. Honestly, it's just at the live events that I go to.
Yeah, no, I started all online. I started all because my friend on Twitter told me, he's like, yeah, I got a Braviary and I'm kicking everyone's butt with it. I almost cursed. But it's like, all right, let me get into it. And that's how I found my way into this Pokemon world. So, like, hearing you guys find it another way is cool to me, you know? Like, it really is so cool how many avenues to get into competitive there are, even though I feel like the barrier of entry is a bit high learning everything.
Yeah, it is quite the challenge. I do remember getting into Black and White and having to learn that Pokemon. There's a ton of new held items, and they all have abilities now that that didn't exist before, and like egg moves and IVs and EVs. It was quite the challenge to try and learn all of that when I first got into it in 2012. But figured it out, learned it, conquered it, did well. Here we are.
What was the hardest generation to make Pokemon in game in? Like, what was the most like pain in the butt one?
Gen 5 by far was really hard. Like hatching eggs was a pain because you only had like the one strip of of things to do, and it was just such a nightmare. I'm so glad the tools that we have now to make Pokemon in game is so much better. Bottle caps are amazing.
Yeah.
Like just the items that they give us, and it's just so much easier. Oh man, I remember hyper training was a mini game you had to complete in Oras, or Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and you had literally like
the soccer nets, right?
Yeah, you had to play soccer balls to EV your Pokemon. So I've seen it all.
Oh, I do remember that. Wait, what was the effect of that? My buddy told me that was for something.
That you would raise your EV. That was EV training.
Oh, you could without the proteins and stuff in the iron.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That was the alternative.
There was with punching bags as well in X and Y.
Yeah.
And could you go into like I like to go to Route 2 to finish off my EV training sometimes if I run out of feathers, and I'll just KO a bunch of Pokemon, like, now I got to find the new spot. Did that work back then too?
Yeah, I remember when you actually could get into a battle with multiple Pokemon at the same time, like the mob battles. and you could knock out like 5 Pokemon at once to EV train.
A little bit faster.
Yeah, and do it faster. And then Pokerus, which is now not even a thing anymore, to double your EV yield.
Oh, that's what it did. It doubled your EV. I remember my buddy was like, "You hit the jackpot getting that in a Nuzlocke," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it doubled your EV yield, which makes it super easy to be able to
Yeah.
make get your Pokemon to where you need it to be.
What was your favorite quality of life improvement they've added?
Bottle caps.
Bottle
for sure.
caps.
The
Yeah.
ability to change your IVs. All we need now is a rusty bottle cap to go down to 0.
Yes.
That way, trick room can be easy, and then that's golden. That's
Dude,
all we need.
I got super lucky with an Indeedee. I got a 3 IV speed one and a 4 IV attack one with 31 in the rest of them. And it's
That's
like,
pretty good.
yeah, no, that's probably the best I'm gonna get. That's probably the best I'm gonna get. Yeah. So I'm pushing my luck with that one, but I'm excited to use that at San Diego. This is coming out after San Diego, so I could talk about that if I use that, because I'm planning on using that team I practiced with you guys against. Actually, no, I changed it a bit tonight. I'll send you the new updated paste.
You did send it to me already.
Oh yeah, the crit Hydreigon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's. I hope it works, but I feel like the Murkrow is scaring away Dondozos, and then my core of actually, I would love to get your son's opinion on the team I'm thinking of bringing to San Diego. If you guys want to take a look and give me some tips on what you guys think. It's a Terrain Extender and DD. Mike D'Angelo's telling me I should get away from Terrain Extender, but a lot of my battles have been like more than 7 turns, so it's been helping me a lot in the long run.
That's not the right one. Stick right here. Where did it go?
Why?
Is it that one right there?
And then I have the Garchomp. I had Garchomp and Kilowatt Trail before Hydreigon and Murkrow.
Oh, that version, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one. That I've had the most success I've ever had with that one, getting top 13 in Joe's tournament out of 208 people. So I was really happy with my results there. That's the best results I've ever had. But now I'm thinking about changing some stuff, and I'm nervous. So I'd love some like kick-ass battlers' opinions, which you guys are.
I think
Scope lens?
yeah. So it's the Focus Energy Scope Lens crit play with Draco Meteor, so you never have to worry about your status drops or your
Yeah.
Minus 2 range too.
And
covert on Murkrow.
I had Protect over Terra Blast, but my Sylveon matchup was a bit iffy.
Okay, no, I see that on Hydreigon, yeah.
And I went for a more offensive Murkrow because I am running Indeedee. So if the Psychic Train is up for a while, I want to still be able to do stuff. And Brave Bird, I could KO myself if someone's trying to leave Murkrow alone. That was my
Just so you
thought.
know, I wholeheartedly approve of Murkrow. It kills Amoonguss and Volcarona very easily.
It's awesome.
As well as like fighting types such as Annihilate, because you can just Brave Bird them, call it a day. Love it.
What about sharp beak? That
Well, because the Covert Cloaks allows you to get, you don't get faked out, so no matter what, you get crank your tail ends off. I would look at Armor Cannon. I like the damage from it, but I think you'll probably have more consistency with Flamethrower, or even, maybe even Heatwave if you still want another spread move.
On Armorage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see the haze armor cannon, but I think the consistency with no matter what, just doing damage with flamethrower is just gonna beat.
With no stat draws.
Yeah.
And that still gets around the Wide Guard, which I've been using it to do.
Yep.
that's my favorite. But you also have Torkoal, and that boosts the damage on the fire moves, and that's really useful.
So you don't necessarily need Armor Cannon to lower your stats if you want a more survivable Armor Rouge.
I appreciate
Your Armor
that.
Rouge, I can see your Armor Rouge set's very like not bulky. Just like go for broke on HP and special attack.
I was running 92 speed with 31 IVs because in Tailwind I outspeed Dragapult, and then I was running Room Service. And then I went to min speed Room Service to underspeed base 50 Pokemon like Azumarill, Hariyama, and King Gambit. And now I just switched over to Safety Goggles because Amoonguss was a problem, more than those Pokemon were.
I still like safety goggles on Rouge. I think gives you good coverage
Yeah.
against Amoonguss.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
Yeah, and then again, I told Abel this too, but Lilligant I've been calling Venusaur light because when I hit the sleep powders, it's great, but when I miss them, it's just brutal.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. Yeah, but that was beneficial with Butterfree because it also get compound eyes, so you were never missing anyways. I like the Focus Sash to give you some survivability. I like After You, and the Leaf Storm just gives you a good one-hit damage option.
What I also like is now with open team sheets, I feel like the Terra Dark Armorage and Terra Fairy Indeedee, the Follow Me, the Wide Guard, and both of them having Trick Room, I can guarantee myself Trick Room in most matches, which I really like with Torkoal. But
Yeah, Abel likes Torkoal a lot too.
It's
So.
I'm glad. Great minds think alike.
No, and I definitely think you're. I like the Armor Rouge, like just as a Pokemon. I've been using Weakness Policy myself, but I definitely see the value of Armor Cannon and Haze and Draco Meteor and Haze.
And even Leaf
gives you
Storm.
additional options versus Dondozo.
Yeah.
Fritz.
I am going to test Flamethrower over Armor Cannon because I do want more survivability most of the time. That is a great point.
Like, it is a lot of damage, but you also are lowering your it's a fire close combat.
Yeah,
you're still
exactly.
take more damage now that you've used that move. And since you're probably going to be moving first in Trick Room, you want to make sure that you're around more turns. So you'll get more damage being around an extra turn than you would just having a big one-shot move.
Mason, when that works out at the regional, I'm going to go tell you right away. Because, again, this is coming out the week after. So, no, this is coming out the week after San Diego. So if that works, I'm going to be giddy.
Hopefully it's fun.
Yeah. That would be a crazy plot twist. I hope that happens. I'm crossing my fingers, but I'm still just trying to get better. I want to get CP. I've only earned 2 CP from those player cups online. So I want to get CP next to my name. That's my biggest goal now. Now that I've top cut my first tournament. I want to start getting on those leaderboards.
Is to finish with CP this year as well. I mean, I want to qualify for Worlds. I want to actually make it. I want to compete. And so I just need to win. So that's what we'll just have to do.
Imagine we play in the finals. You've been kicking my ass in all our practice matches, though, so it's not a great matchup for me. But
hey, it's second place. I'd be happy with second place too, honestly. The finals, no big deal.
But yeah, man, this has been really fun. We're already at like around the hour mark. Is there anything else you guys want to add before I get out of here? This has just been fun hanging out and talking.
It's San Diego's almost coming up, so I'm excited to see you. Hopefully we all do well.
Hopefully we all do well is right. Knock on wood, cross the fingers.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see you and get to beat everybody again. And those are the local events are always the most fun when you actually get to involve yourself with the community locally. Like it's all cool to hang out on chat, but it's another thing to actually be able to go have dinner with your friends.
Oh yeah, it makes a world's difference. Like actually seeing the community instead of just talking to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. But this has been a blast.
Seeing you there, and looking forward to all the travel that we got going on. It's just jet setting around the world now.
And yeah, I can't wait to see how you guys do at the Australian tournament too. But all right, I'm gonna stop the recording here if I could get the mouse over the right button. And thank you guys for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.